Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today is August 12th, 2015. Today I'm going to talk about EBI 4, ADCC, a couple new products, and then Geo Martinez is going to be on. He is a 10th Planet Black Belt and he's competing like crazy. He'll be competing at EBI 4 this weekend and ADCC at the end of the month. Then he shows a couple techniques. Let's get to it. First off, I need to thank my friends at ColleCure. ColleCure is the best way to have beautiful looking ears like this. If you have messed up your ears through too much jiu-jitsu or MMA, ColleCure is the way to get your ears back to their natural looking selves. Check them out on BudoVideos.com or ColleCure.com. Also, before we get into the events, I want to let you know that I just posted a new video blog on my other channel. It's the Budo Jake channel. So just head on over to my Budo Jake channel on YouTube, and I'm going to be posting a little bit more casual conversations there probably every week or so. Anyway, this weekend we have EBI 4. This is going to take place at the Orpheaum Theater in downtown LA again. And for any of you guys that have seen any of the previous EBIs, you know that this is a super exciting event. You're almost guaranteed a submission in every single round. And EBI 3 is actually free on YouTube right now. So if you need a little priming, go over to YouTube and check out EBI 3. But EBI 4 is going to be stacked. You got Barrett Yoshida, Eddie Cummings, Gio Martinez, just a ton of super talented guys. And the rule set is super exciting. It's going to be live on BudoVideos.com. Just go to BudoVideos.com/EBI4 for more information. Again, it's going to be this Saturday, August 15th, and it's $20 for the live broadcast. Another event this month is going to be ADCC. ADCC happens every 2 years, and it is, the crown jewel of no-gi grappling. It takes place in a different part of the world every 2 years, and you got all the best guys there. Not only are they divided by weight classes, but there's also a super fight, two super fights this year. One with Fabio Gurgel versus Ricardo Laborio, and the other one is going to be Cyborg versus Andre Galvao. So it's going to be super exciting. That's going to be August 29th and 30th. So make sure you mark these two events down on your calendar because you definitely don't want to miss those. For more information on ADCC, go to BudoVideos.com/ADCC2015. All right, guys, time for new products. Two products I want to show you today. The first one is damage control mouth guards. It took me a long time to get comfortable wearing mouth guards. It wasn't that I was uncomfortable with them, but I just thought they weren't necessary. I never took any blows to the head or felt any need to, and I felt like they kind of restricted my breathing a little bit. But you take one knee to the teeth, and then you regret not wearing them. And that's what happened to me, actually. Long story, but anyway. I took a knee to the head and had some mouth injury for a little while. So I wear a custom mouth guard now, and they blow away the boil and bites. I would not recommend a boil and bite to anybody, even though we sell them on BudoVideos.com. Custom mouth guards are the way to go. You can go to your dentist and get them made there, but there's also one that we sell from Damage Control. And the way it works is you buy the kit, it's $130, and then you fit it to your mouth, then you send it to them, no extra charge for that. They send it back to you and custom made. You can put whatever graphics you want on it as well. And it's super comfortable. I never thought I'd say it, but I don't mind wearing a mouth guard at all. When it's custom made, it feels like you're not wearing anything at all, pretty much. So check that one out. Also, there's another new product called Jits Grips, and there's not a lot of ways to practice jiu-jitsu by yourself, but Jits Grips allows you to work on your open guard. Open guard is something that is very confusing to a lot of people in the beginning, but Jits Grips allows you to get the movement down. Basically, it's a bungee cord with some gi sleeves on it, and allows you to practice your De La Riva, reverse De La Riva, spider guard motions. It's a pretty cool product, and that's $49.95 for the set. It's available on BudoVideos.com as well. All right, guys, now it's time for the interview with Gio Martinez. Again, Gio is a 10th Planet Black Belt. He's been competing a lot and doing really good in competition as well. He is the champion of EBI 1 and EBI 2. He'll be competing at EBI 4 this weekend. And he also did the ADCC trials on the East Coast and submitted everybody along the way. So he'll be competing at ADCC in Brazil as well. So definitely a guy to keep your eyes on. Let's get to the interview. And after the interview, he shows a couple of his favorite ways to set up the truck. Here we go. Gio, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
So this is the first time we've actually hung out, but man, you've been making a lot of names for yourself recently.
I'm trying to, you know, it's competitive out there.
Right. So you got 3 events coming up. You got EBI this weekend. You have ADCC at the end of the month. Then you have the GT Open next month. Let's go through these one by one. First of all, EBI. Oh, yeah. You are, for the guys that don't know, there might be some people that don't follow EBI as much, but you're the champ of EBI 1 and EBI 2.
Right.
EBI 3 wasn't your weight class, but do you feel like this is your tournament?
I mean, submission only. You know, obviously my master Eddie Bravo throws it. You know what I mean? So he loves submission only tournaments, and his mentality and the way he teaches is kill or be killed. You know what I mean? That's what Eddie's mentality is. So I feel like, you know, the whole show is about finishing. That's what I think EBI is about. You got to finish. And do I love to finish? Yeah, it's my game. You know, that's what I work on. I don't work on points. I don't work on advantages. I want to finish. You know, and that's what I'm going for.
When Eddie explained to me the rule set, because I have to admit, I didn't watch EBI 1 or 2 before EBI 3. And when he explained the rule set to me, it didn't make a lot of sense. But when I watched it play out, it was perfection. I mean, Eddie is a genius in that regard. I really mean it. And that tournament was so much fun, and that we saw a submission in every match at EBI 3 and almost all of EBI 1 and 2. What do you think is different about EBI than other submission-only tournaments?
I feel like when you get rewarded to submit someone, that puts something in your head. You kind of see what the game's about. You're like, okay, I submit, I get paid. You know what I mean? Even though it's not always about getting paid, it's like, that's just a bonus. You know what I mean? The only way to get paid is by submitting. You know what I mean? So he's kind of rewarding you for going for the kill. If you don't go for the kill, you can still win and move on, but you won't get those extra $5,000. You know what I mean? That's kind of always in the back of your head. You're like, man, I could, you know, play it safe and beat this guy, or I could just go for the kill and the glory and get the money. You know, and that right there makes it exciting. I feel like when the competitors going with that state of mind, like, I want to finish so I could get paid. Right. It just kind of, you know, gets you a little more pumped, I feel like. Yeah,
and Eddie's put it in line perfectly with what people want to see, which is a submission, and lined that up with the cash prize. So it's both people are aiming towards the same thing.
Right.
Who are some of the bigger names you're looking forward to facing at EBI 4?
You know, to me, Eddie Cummings is one of the top level dudes right now in the world. You know what I mean? I don't see it. A lot of people are sleeping on him, you know, because he only does submission only tournaments, and that's his special, you know, his special game too, just submission only. So I feel Eddie Cummings and his heel hook game there's no one like him around right now, so I don't really know what to expect from him. Obviously, he's killing it and smashing everybody in the leg lock game, and, you know, it's something to be careful, and, you know, it's something to be excited too, because I want to compete against the best guys. I want guys who throw stuff that I never felt. And I feel he's the guy that could do that. Also, Yao Miao is, you know, known all over the world, and, you know, I love his style. He's so weird on the mats, and I love to be weird on the mats, and I love the way he moves on the mats. It just he's always going for the kill, but his style is different. I just feel like it's fun to watch as well. It's exciting. He's always attacking, moving forward, and I'm always moving forward. So when you have 2 guys moving forward, there's going to be some fireworks for sure. And I can't underestimate Barry Yoshida. You know, he's been around the game for a long time. I've been looking up to this guy for a while, and, you know, he's been competing with Eddie and those guys, you know, guys that are my masters, and, you know, just watching his game and watching how long he's been doing it for, his experience is second to none. There's no one in the competing with his experience. I feel like maybe Joe Tudor. Joe Tudor's another beast out there. But I mean, everyone's good on the list. I could go on forever, but I guess those 3 guys, 4 guys are the main guys that I'm keeping my eye on.
Right. You know, when you have a super fight, you know who you're going to be fighting, and you can strategize for that one guy. But when it's a tournament, you have a number of guys that you're going to be facing, and some of the names that you just listed are guys that have a very specific, something they're really good at. Right. Barrett's great at the crucifix. Eddie Cummings is great at heel hooks. Joao Miao, of course, with the Barambolos. So do you narrow your focus leading up to this event, focusing on defeating those particular things?
I feel like Because even if you know their game, you don't really know till you feel it. You know what I mean? Like, you could watch someone and then you roll with them. You're like, whoa, this guy's stronger than I thought he was, or he's faster, or he's more flexible. It's like you don't really know till you feel it. So I gotta feel it, but all I know is they gotta feel me too. They don't know how I move. They don't know what I do. So I'm really focusing on my game. And you know, when it comes down to it, and I'm competing against those guys, I gotta adapt. You know, I just gotta be able to adapt. And you know, just I feel like that's something that I take pride on. You know, when I'm competing against someone, I can adapt to your style and try to, you know, pick up some kind of patterns and try to figure you out. And that's the fun part about jiu-jitsu. Is like you got to figure your opponent out on the mat at that moment.
Right. You know, if you were looking just at EBI history, some people would say that you're the favorite to win because you've won 2 of them before, and the event's only had 3 so far. Do you think you're the favorite to win EBI 4?
I think I'm one of the favorites, you know, but you can't count out those guys because they have a bigger resume than I do. You know, Jao Miao's won way more matches than I have, competed in way more matches than I have, and it's done it all over the world, you know, against top level dudes. I haven't got the chance to do that. You know, I've only been training now for 5.5 years pretty much. You know, I'm on my 5th year right now of training. These guys, they've been training jiu-jitsu since they're little kids, you know what I mean? And they've been, not all of them, but a lot of them been training for a long time. So I feel like, you know, I'm a favorite because I won before, but experience-wise, I only have 5.5 years. These guys have been in the game way longer than I have. I'm trying to catch up to them. I'm trying to take them out. But obviously, I have the crown right now in the EBI tournament, and you know, I'm wearing it proud.
Yeah, it's crazy for you to be competing at this level after only training 5.5 years. Have you been training like a professional for those 5 years? Yeah,
I think something that's important. A lot of people are like, you know, how did you get good, or how did you get your black belt in 3.5 years? Some people. You know, everyone says different theories, but my thing is my breakdancing background just made me understand patterns easier and movement easier, you know what I mean? And I train my body to be flexible and strong because of dancing. And I could understand patterns because of dancing. So I feel that made it easier for me and my brother to, you know, adapt to it, you know, and pick things up. But,
you know, one thing that some people might think it's kind of silly, like dancing and jiu-jitsu, they don't match, but a name we were talking about before I started filming was Cobrinha, and he's a guy that studied capoeira, you know, a martial dance, and he's one of the best in the world. Right. So I think there's a parallel there that, that, like you just said, recognizing patterns through movement.
Right, there is. You know, I mean, when it comes down to dancing and jiu-jitsu, it's like you're using your body, right? You're using your body, and you know, you got to have different body movements. You got to understand different body movements. Someone could put me on my shoulder or my head. It's like I've been there all my life. You know, it's what I like to do. You know, when guys go inverted, some guys feel weird. To me, it doesn't feel weird. You know what I mean? Some guy could stack me. I could bring my legs behind my shoulders and okay, let's go. You know, it's not gonna throw me off because I'm used to being in different positions, different situations, you know? And I feel the parallels are there for sure, the cardio-wise, the mental aspect of it, and just like how we're talking about feeling things out. You know, in dancing, you gotta feel the moves out. You gotta execute the moves. You know, when I do jiu-jitsu, I try to execute my moves like a dance move. I try to hit it clean. I like to, you know, if I go for rolling kimura, I like to hit it, boom, you know, on beat. That's how I look at it in my head. And just like a dance move, it's like you gotta execute. And there's so many parallels. I could go on forever and comparing those two things together, but you could do that with anything pretty much, right? A lot of martial arts and a lot of things are connected. And dancing to me is, breakdancing specifically is, they used to call breakdancing street martial arts. You know what I mean? It was weird because that's originally people would be like, you're a street martial artist if you're a breakdancer, right? It's an old school term, you know, because you're on this, before you're breakdancing on the streets doing all these weird acrobatic movements with your body. You know, it's like martial arts in a sense.
Do you like to train to music?
Yeah, all the time.
What type of music?
I like, you know, like house music, electronic music. I like 80s music, 60s music, old blues music. Like, just depends on my mood. Sometimes I just want to train hard and, you know, train till I'm throwing up and I'll put some blues, you know, just go in there and just not have no pain, just train. But, you know, sometimes I just want to flow my game and feel good energy, and I'll put some, you know, electronic music, some house music with good rhythm, and it gets my body moving, and plus my mind. I get creative, you know, when I use different music.
Is there a type of music that you feel does not go well with training?
Rap. I don't know why, just rap doesn't feel right. Like, you know, like, what's up, you know, like, just like being hard on the mats, it's not my mentality. Like, I don't want to try to bang on someone on the mats, you know, I want to be artistic on the mat. I don't want to try to be hard and tough. It's not my mentality.
I feel exactly the same way. Rap and even some metal, you know, can just be so aggressive.
Like, too much. It's like, I don't want that mentality, you know.
Right. It fits maybe an MMA gym, but not for jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
So, Gio, there might be some guys watching, not me, but there might be some people watching that say, here's a guy who practiced dancing and he does a lot of submission-only tournaments. Does he really understand jiu-jitsu as a martial art? Has he practiced the self-defense side of jiu-jitsu? Does that bother you? Does that concern you at all?
No, because I'm always the same way about certain people. It's like, is this guy legit at what he does? You know, but one thing about me is like I'm obsessive. You know, I get obsessed with things, and I love martial arts. I love all martial arts. My brother's an MMA fighter. You know, I train with him all the time, but I study martial arts. I love martial arts, and I have a lot of respect for it. I'm honored, you know what I mean, to be part of the jiu-jitsu martial arts scene. I'm honored. Like, to me, it was always, I've been watching martial arts before I even did jiu-jitsu. I thought it was too late for me to train jiu-jitsu, which is weird, you know what I mean? But once I got the opportunity, I took advantage of it. But I always loved martial arts. I train all the time. I teach all the time, you know, and I teach self-defense all the time because I got to make sure, you know, my students could defend themselves when it comes down to it. Some people don't come in to win tournaments. Some people come in to be in good shape. Some people come in because they get beat up all the time and they want to defend themselves. And, you know, we teach all sorts of different strategies at our gym. We don't just focus on one thing. And, you know, when I was telling you earlier, I learned my fundamentals with Sean Bollinger. He always made sure we worked on, you know, self-defense. He was an MMA fighter at the time too. So, I mean, you know, how can I prove myself? Do I have to fight someone? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I love martial arts and I have a lot of respect for it. I have to, it's what I do. I'm passionate about it. You know, I respect where it came from and I respect where it's going. And I just want to embrace what's already been there and just do my little part and enjoy the art.
Mm-hmm. So you started training in San Diego. You had Sean Bollinger traveling down once in a while from Riverside. Some people might say, like, man, you got Andre Galvao in San Diego, you got Shanji Hibero, all these great guys. Why not train with them? Why did you choose to go to a 10th Planet school?
I just feel like me being, coming from a breakdancing background, even in the breakdancing world, our crew was not traditional. You know, our crew, we're called the Freak Show. You know, our thing was like, it's funny because all the old school people was like, you guys need to learn your foundation, you know what I mean? And that was our thing because we're just doing tricks, submissions, you know what I mean? Like, if you put the parallels, like, we're just all about tricks and blow-ups. That's what we call, like, the move that you make the crowd blow up. That's what we will focus on mainly, you know? We're like, let's blow it up, let's work on our blow-ups. And everyone else is like, let's work on musicality and let's work on the fundamentals. You know, so even in the b-boy world, breakdancing world, we were already kind of like outcasts. You know, we're the Freak Show for a reason. We named ourselves that because we wanted to embrace that image. We wanted to be the outcasts. We wanted to be the oddballs, you know. And when I looked at, when I heard a little bit about jiu-jitsu, I got introduced to like Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan and kind of like that scene. And I just love Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo's like mentality, you know. And then I really got into Eddie Bravo and I saw what he was about. And man, he was a genius. You know, I couldn't even understand half the stuff he was talking about. And obviously seeing the rubber guard and stuff like that, that reminded me a lot of the stuff we're doing in breakdancing. We're doing, say someone's doing like a windmill, we'll put our leg over our head and do a windmill just to switch it up and make it more original and different. Not everybody could do that. And I look at Eddie Styles like that. It's like, he is jiu-jitsu, the evolution of jiu-jitsu in my eyes. You know what I mean? That's what we were in breakdancing. We're the evolution of breakdancing. We try to add our own flavor and try to evolutionize what was already there. And that's what Eddie did. So when I saw that, I was like, man, it makes sense to me. Just once I met him, we talked a little bit and we weren't even talking about jiu-jitsu. We were talking about music. You know, I could talk to Eddie about music and more than just jiu-jitsu. So Eddie became more of a friend and like a kind of like a mentor. But then he became my jiu-jitsu coach. You know, it was weird. Like, first he was just talking to me, getting me ideas and giving me good positive feedback. And we're talking about all sorts of things. And I feel like the jiu-jitsu was just the second part of it. It's like, I liked Eddie because of who he was. He was a lot like me and my brother. I felt like I grew up with Eddie, you know what I mean? Which was weird. So once you have that chemistry, it's like, forget everything else. I don't care what you done, what you won. It's like, you and me vibe out. We feel this connection. That's powerful. Yeah. You know, we made a powerful connection, which I can't say I have with a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community. So I got lucky that the universe brought me to Eddie. Because even if you know their game, you don't really know till you feel it. You know what I mean? Like, you could watch someone and then you roll with them. You're like, whoa, this guy's stronger than I thought he was, or he's faster, or he's more flexible. It's like, you don't really know till you feel it. If his hips are still up here, that's gonna allow me to shoot through my right leg underneath. Boom. And just get that hook nice and easy.